wlife.com.
It's a Wednesday, by golly. How you doing, kids? Good morning, television family. 18th day of October, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz. A little on the chilly side, clear sky. It's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be really hard to stay inside all the way through Saturday, most of Sunday, really, before significant weather patterns going to cool us down and get us wet. It's going to make our temperatures back down where they should be this time of the year, but we are going to be bumping up and maybe surpassing record high temperatures as we get to the back half of the week. Very good chance of doing it on Thursday and Friday. Maybe Saturday. We'll be close to it today. It's going to be sunny and mild, the kind of day you want to bottle up and save for the middle of January, but you can't really do that. A forecast I think you're going to like. If you like it sunny and mild and crisp and clean, you're going to like what you're going to hear from Mother Nature, plus the news. Sports. Seattle Kraken can't seem to score any goals. They're not playing bad hockey. They just can't put the puck in the back of the net. That happened again last night in their home debut against the Colorado Avalanche. Our cameras were at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium for the Panthers and the Davis Pirates. In high school girls volleyball, Panthers swept the Pirates away. Highlights of that, plus baseball playoffs continue. Everything else that we normally do, the obscure holiday, a few celebrity birthdays, both living and heavenly birthdays. Plus, we'll have Today in History. Mike Benatti's got an opinion. And Jennifer Talbot paid me a visit yesterday. We're going to play that interview in the back half of the program. One of my favorite people, of course, she is the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. And if you're into mediation training, think that might do you some good. If you got 40 hours to spare, they got their fall mediation training coming up at the end of this month and into the early part of November. Jennifer will tell you all about that in the back half of the program. Always good to see Jennifer Talbot. Need to have her on more often. It's just my bad. Sometimes things just get in the way. It is cool. It's 43. The cool spot right now is both Ellensburg and Ephrata. They're at 37 degrees. Let's go around the camera. Let's go around the camera. If we went around the camera, that'd be a real boring show. Let's go around the valley. But there are cameras, not quite to sunrise. We're a ways away. 7:24 official sunrise this morning. Sunset tonight, this evening, if you will. 6:08, that's 10 hours and 44 minutes of daylight. We're continuing to lose about 2.5 minutes of daylight a day. But a gorgeous view from our Wenatchee Heights camera, looking out over the valley proper. The Arundel Rock camera, I don't know if there's actually a thing called Arundel Rock. That's what we call the camera. And there it is. Hello, Lake Antioch, way off into the distance. Mission Ridge, the Clockham, the Wenatchee Valley. You can see the lights of Rocky Ridge Dam and the traffic on the Douglas County side of the highway off to your left, and Turtle Rock jumps out at you from our Arundel Rock camera. Let's say good morning to Leavenworth. It looks something like that. That's from our Tumwater Canyon camera pointing down over Leavenworth. They're having the ribbon cutting ceremony this morning at 8:30 for the new roundabout that they put in at Icicle Road and Highway 2, so the Link buses can turn around safely, don't have to use a parking lot anymore. Good morning to Leavenworth. Always good to see you. Now this camera should really be cool. The Omi Gardens camera. Yeah. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Stunning view. By the way, Omi Gardens, like they have for the last 20 years or so, will be participating and Make a Difference Day. Their last day of actual business was on Sunday, but they always have a work party at Omi Gardens on Make a Difference Day to help winterize the facility, taking down some dead trees and stuff that they don't need anymore. So get a hold of Omi Gardens if you want to put on a hard hat and some gloves and help them out. Clean it up for Make a Difference Day. They sure would appreciate it. The next 5 days are really looking good. The next 4.5 days, and then, whoops, a big-time weather change expected to arrive Monday and Tuesday of next week. It's going to be much cooler. It's going to be unsettled. Some rain in the valley, some frost in many locations. We're talking temperatures getting down in near freezing in those areas that are prone to have cold pockets of air down near the surface. And believe it or not, maybe a little bit of snow in the mountains. Now, pass level, probably not. But for the high terrain, 4,500, 5,000 feet, could see some snow. By the time we get to the middle of next week, it is a rather dramatic change from what we are expecting over the next 4.5 days. You ready for this? After a high yesterday of 63, it will be considerably warmer than that. Our normal high temperature is now 59. Will be 10 degrees warmer than that today with a high of 69. Record high on this date, 72. Set back in 1974. Probably won't get there, but plenty warm for most people. Clear skies tonight, 50 for the overnight low. Now we're starting to talk about record high temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast high for the National Weather Service, 75. Our record high for the 19th day of October tomorrow, 75. Set back in 1981. We're definitely going to set a record on Friday. That's almost a lead pipe cinch. Our forecast high on Friday is 75. Our record high on Friday, 70. Set back in 2013, 10 years ago. So we're going to break a record there, and probably again on Saturday. Forecast high Saturday of 73. Again, mostly sunny skies, and then the clouds roll in. Our record high on Saturday, 71, set back in 1972. So close to it today. Could tie it on Thursday. We're going to break it on Friday, quite possibly break it on Saturday. Saturday night is when things start to change. Still going to be very mild, but not going to see a lot of sunshine on Saturday or Sunday, and then things really change Monday night into Tuesday. Look at the big drop in temperature. So record high temperatures, a distinct possibility Friday and Saturday, and we're going to be much cooler by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. A friendly reminder, it's October. You get it all this time of the year. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll fill your head full of the information you need to get your Wednesday going. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale. Now, only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poyer will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up, he's prepared, and he always gets to the right answer. Mike just loves this town. He was born and raised here. He has a passion for making this place better, as we all do. And it's been a pleasure working with him on the Wenatchee City Council for the past 4 years, and I just look forward to having him lead our city going forward. So join me in voting for Mike Poyer, Mayor.
Nine minutes after the hour, clear skies, 43 degrees, upper 60s today, into the 70s on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with some record-breaking high temperatures. And then here comes autumn again come Monday and Tuesday. A Soap Lake man will serve 22 years in federal prison for using an 11-year-old girl to produce child sexual abuse material. 49-year-old Michael Gene Rice pled guilty in July to production and attempted production of child pornography for soliciting images and video from the child who was in his care. He was sentenced Thursday in U.S. District Court in Spokane. Rice was also convicted by a Grant County jury in February on 5 felonies related to child pornography. He's currently being held at the Grant County Jail in Ephrata while he awaits sentencing in that case. TSA officials, transportation security officials, assisted paramedics. They perhaps saved the life of an unresponsive passenger a week ago while they were checking in at Payne-Bohr Memorial Airport. They were boarding passengers for a Seattle-bound plane, and that's when the gate agent noticed that a male traveler was lying on the ground and called that guy, TSA Supervisory Officer Alan Holloman, to assist. While Holloman was on the phone with 911, the traveler stopped breathing. Holloman administered chest compressions until the man began breathing again. Other TSA officials jumped in to assist. They cleared the area, and they escorted paramedics to the traveler upon their arrival. Paramedics also administering CPR upon their arrival, and the man finally became responsive and was taken to the hospital for further observation. A family of bears that have been raiding garbage cans in and around the city of Leavenworth, well, they got them. They captured them, they knocked them out, and they relocated them out of town. The State Department of Fish and Wildlife said it recently used Carolinian bear dogs to track and herd the mother and her 2 cubs so they could be tranquilized and captured in the Enchantment Park and the Blackbird Island area. Aside from trash, the bears also feed on fallen apples from residential fruit trees. Of course, they're trying to put on weight for hibernation come winter. Last year, a Leavenworth woman was attacked and injured by a bear that was then killed by wildlife agents. The agency says residents should secure their trash, pick up all the fruit from their trees and their gardens, and remove their bird feeders so the bears won't get at them. Wenatchee Valley College welcomed a new associate vice president to their staff earlier this month. That is him, Pedro Navarrete, who comes from Wenatchee Valley College from Yakima Valley Community College. He's been named associate vice president of enrollment management and community partnerships. In his role, he will lead and manage outreach, recruitment, engagement, retention, and international programs. In Yakima, he served simultaneously as the assistant dean of Yakima Valley College's Grandview campus and interim dean for college and career readiness at Yakima Valley Community College. In a press release, Navarrete, who is a first-generation college student, said he hopes to provide the same kind of experience for Wenatchee Valley College students that he had received from past teachers who encouraged him. It doesn't happen too often, but the roundabout that Link is celebrating today not only was completed on time, but under budget, and they're going to celebrate today. The Public Transit Agency is going to hold an 8 a.m. ribbon cutting this morning at the roundabout. It's at the intersection of Highway 2 and Icicle Road. It's a small event, should not impede traffic. Costs for the roundabout came in at $2.2 million. The anticipated cost was $3.3 million. The new structure, designed to give Link commuter buses a convenient point to turn around and head back towards Wenatchee, as well as assisting traffic flow as it enters Leavenworth from the Tumwater Canyon. Bring your own bag to a book sale at the East Wenatchee Public Library. It's happening this weekend. It's in celebration of National Friends of Libraries Week. NCW Libraries is honoring the dedication of library volunteers and supporters around the region. It's a 3-day event, begins Friday at 9 a.m., goes until 6 p.m., same time on Saturday, and then on Sunday, it'll be held at noon to 4 p.m. The proceeds from the book sale will go towards funding free events hosted by the library. Good for them. Cool deal. And something else to do this Saturday, if you're into vinyl, like a certain person I am. They did this back in May, and it was a huge success, the Apple Valley Record Expo. Well, it went so well, they're going to do it again this Saturday. Organizer Joel Myrene has pulled together the second expo. It's going to be this Saturday at the Wenatchee IOOF Hall in the 600 block of North Chelan. He joined me earlier in the week to talk about the event.
Talking to a friend that's a collector and just talking about, we used to go to shows at this IOF Hall on Chelan Street and just
music shows.
Yeah, music shows. Right. And we would put them on there, and it was such a great time and just have good memories in that building. And he's a vinyl collector, I'm a vinyl collector. And he was talking about selling some of his records, and that just kind of sparked the idea.
And of course, the revival in vinyl has been well documented. It's outselling and has been outselling compact discs for a number of years. And that helps too, that the younger generation are getting into it.
Yeah, they really have. Even though, streaming is probably the biggest way people consume music, vinyl sales have overtaken CD sales at least. And so I think it's, you're holding that, you got the nice artwork, it's something, you put it on the record player, you got to be intentional about it, and people are drawn to it. We are giving away a turntable this time, free raffle ticket if you just come to the expo. You can come to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo table. We'll give you a raffle ticket. At the end of the day, we'll give away an Audio-Technica LP60 turntable.
Good basic starter.
Yep. And you can upgrade the stylus, and yeah, if you decide vinyl's your thing, you can upgrade it and get a better stylus, but it's a great entry-level turntable. So this time we'll charge $20 for a half table spot or $30 for a full table spot. And then also admission to the public is still free, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But if you want to, for the bigger time collectors, you can come at 10 a.m., pay $5 at the door, and get that hour early entry above everyone else, and kind of get first pick. It'll be Saturday, October 21st at the IOOF Hall at 601 North Chelan. It'll be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is $5 early entry. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. is free to the public, and we'll also have a coffee vendor there. Aloha Dreams Mobile Espresso will be there, and she'll be serving up coffee and treats. On the social media, you can direct message on Facebook or Instagram to the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo page.
Yeah, if you go to Facebook and type that in, it pops right up.
Yep. Yeah. Or email at Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo @gmail.com.
Guess we'll all be on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. That's the news. At 16 minutes after the hour, the news will come your way tonight. A complete newscast, the NCAA Life Evening News with Grant and Erica. Will come your way at 5, 6, and 10. 5, 6, and 10 on television. That doesn't work for you. It's up and running on our website, our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. And we have it posted right around 5 o'clock. And we're also archived, because you can watch the news really whenever you want to. Try to make it as convenient for you as possible. And if there's something out there that you think is newsworthy, you get a hold of us by sending us an email, news@ncwaalife.com. When we come back, Kraken playing good hockey, just can't score. Arizona couldn't score either, and a lot of shutouts and low-scoring affairs in sports. We'll have that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCAA Life channel.
8 different political campaigns, 16 candidates, 3 cities deciding their future. NCW Life wants you to be informed when you cast your ballot in this November's election. That's why we're sitting down with candidates across the ballot for mayor, city council, and school board to talk through the issues and help you make the best choice. Look for those interviews right here on this channel starting October 22nd and on our website, ncwalife.com.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
19 minutes after the hour, for the first time in the history of the franchise, the Arizona Diamondbacks were shut out in a postseason game, and I mean in a big way. The Phillies pounded the D-backs in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series, 10-0. Cal Schwarber had a couple of home runs. JT Realmuto drove in 3 runs for the Phillies. So Philadelphia leads their best-of-7 series, 2-0. Arizona, Thursday night, Game 3. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series is in Arlington today. The Rangers have a 2-0 lead over the Astros. First pitch, 5:03 tonight on FS1. Game 3, by the way, between the Diamondbacks and the Phillies in the National League Championship Series tomorrow at 2:07 on TBS. Seattle Kraken have yet to win a game in the young season. They lost to Colorado 4-1. It was Seattle's home opener at Climate Pledge Arena that featured a rematch of last year's 7-game playoff series with the Avalanche. You remember that? Things started good enough. Kaylor Yamamoto found the back of the net to give Seattle an early lead, but it didn't last. Here are your highlights.
Fighting with Everly. Up ice, it's Cartier. Peeling toward the slot. Got blocked on the way in. Bounces off the end boards. Yamamoto toward the net. Tried to poke it home. And Cartier hit it off the iron. And now the Kraken score with Yamamoto on the reload. And Seattle strikes first. So Nichushkin back down, playing with Lehkonen and Johansson on the second unit. Nichushkin toward the net. Tumbles there. They score! Lehkonen ties the game at 1. Shielding on Taves, who's able to fight that free to Makar. Coming up on 40 seconds to go, the Avalanche clear. O'Connor's got it. Short-handed, scores! And the Avs lead. 6.5 to go, Avalanche by 1. McKinnon pivots on Tolvanen. Back out Cogliano. Move for Girard. Fire him a one-timer. Flutters and breaks the stick on the way in. And come back out toward the half wall. Cogliano on a pinch. Here's Girard for Rantanen. He scores! And just like that, it's a 2-goal Colorado lead. Stops Jared McCann, who sits in the box. Burakovsky, fanned on it, right point. Met by Nichushkin. Burakovsky lost it. Nichushkin's got it toward the net. He scores! The empty netter to put it on ice for the Avalanche. Poked out by Girard into the circle for Burakovsky. That will do it here in Seattle. Colorado has started this season 3-0. They get a 4-1 win over the Kraken.
The Kraken players and Coach Dave Haxtell says we're actually playing pretty good hockey. We just can't seem to score.
You know, we have to find a way to collectively, I mean, there's spurts where you see the play where we're doing, especially in St. Louis, we carry the play a lot of the time, but I mean, obviously, this is, you can only score 1 goal. It's tough to win hockey games, so, you know, we got to find a way to bear down and you know, get the ball rolling, because once it does, I know it's going to go. I mean, obviously, it's only 4 games in, but, you know, you want to try and find a sense of urgency, a sense of passion and get going again.
Absolutely. You know, anytime you can score a goal in your hometown for your home team, you know, it feels really special. My parents ran the barn too tonight, so yeah, a little extra special.
The reality is we've come away from the last 2 hockey games feeling like we did a lot of really good things, real positive things. At the end of the night, you're battling for 2 points. So we lacked execution in a few spots tonight, and you know, against a good team, that leaves us on the wrong side of the ledger. So, you know, we've got to take that upon ourselves. We've got to execute a little bit better in some of the offensive situations. Continue doing the things that we're doing well. We're doing a lot of really good things. We played hard again. You know, we played hard in a lot of areas of the game. We executed pretty well in a lot of areas, but we need a little bit more.
Kraken have the day off today. They'll host Carolina tomorrow at 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. A little closer to home on the ice, the Wenatchee Wild are on the road. They have a Wednesday night test. They'll be in Tri-Cities tonight. The Wild are 3-5-1 so far in their first season in the Western Hockey League. They are in a tie for 8th in the Western Conference. They have 7 points. The Americans 4-3. They're in a 5-way tie for 3rd. They have 8 points. The puck drops at 7:05 at the Toyota Center in Kennewick. Austin Drawday with the call on 560 KPQ. Make it a three-peat for the Wenatchee Panthers as Big 9 volleyball champions, and they still have 2 matches to play. They improved to 10-0 in league play, straight sets over Davis last night at Wenatchee High School. It is the 3rd straight year that the Panthers have claimed the regular season Big 9 title. Sebastian Moraga had the call right here on the NCAA Live channel.
8-0. Ava Joberry, as time goes long, taking no chances. The slam, good block. Good block that time by Riley Jones. Tough touch. Oh, what a touch. What a touch. Fooled 3 Pirate players. Miss Kara Demerjen did. And with that, she closed the book on this one-sided first set. Has the block. The diving Miss Tucker. Garfias. The slam to the back line. Slam. Oh, what an effort that time. And that one sails long, and it is 2-0 Wenatchee, 25-15, the second set. Serving is Cheyenne Hall. Wenatchee point, double touch, and that does it. Wenatchee takes this one in straight sets, 25-11, 25-15, 25-15. How important was it for you guys to get off to a strong start on every set?
It was really important so that we get all of our team in and everyone gets playing time. It was good to start out strong and just, yeah, keep a good lead.
Now you play Lake Stevens next. Is this a bit of a breather since it's a non-league, or you're going to go just as hard?
They did really well at state last year, so it's going to be a difficult game, but hopefully we can pull it out.
To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Moses Lake gave West Valley all it could handle last night, but the Rams finally took it. 27-25, 17-25, 28-26, and 25-23. Ephrata swept Othello. Kashmir took down Omak in 3 sets, and Quincy won in 3 sets over Cascade. In other volleyball action last night, Okanagan swept Liberty Bell. Manson beat Lake Roosevelt. Brewster blanked Tonasket. Antioch swept Wilson Creek. Moses Lake Christian beat Bridgeport, and Waterville Mansfield took 3 from Pateros. In Big Nine girls soccer last night, Wenatchee dominated Davis 5-0. West Valley came from behind to beat Moses Lake. Prosser edged Ephrata. Chelan blanked Manson. Cascade got by Quincy, and Kashmir no problems over the Pioneers on the pitch. B-League soccer, Okanagan blanked Lake Roosevelt. Pateros edged Bridgeport. Tonasket topped Oroville 18-2 in soccer. And Brewster beat Liberty Bell 4-0. And thanks to the Yakima Valley Herald, we have some cross-country scores to pass along. West Valley swept the boys and girls Big Nine meet yesterday over Wenatchee and Moses Lake. And thanks to Kashmir's Facebook page, we know that Cascade topped the Bulldogs in a head-to-head matchup in cross-country for the girls and the boys. And finally, hey, we're going to be at Liebhoff Field at the Apple Bowl. It is homecoming. Sunnyside on Friday. Grant Olson, Brendan Harley, Eric Granstrom for the call. Panthers and Grizzlies, Big Nine football. Pregame, 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. In high-definition television and monophonic sound. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 27 minutes after the hour. I had 5 obscure holidays that popped up. Today is National Hagfish Day. We're not doing that. The hagfish, just an ugly, slimy, gloppy evolution, I guess. It's Medical Assistance Recognition Day. It's Alaska Day. We'll get to that in just a little bit. It's National No Beard Day. I guess I'm celebrating that. But today is National Chocolate Cupcake Day today. The cupcake goes back to the late 18th century here in America. We eat about 700 million cupcakes. I guess most of them would be chocolate cupcakes. Cupcakes were originally known as 1, 2, 3, 4 cakes because that was the recipe ratio. 1 cup butter, 2 cups sugar, 3 cups flour, 4 eggs. Simple enough. Now, they're a little more complicated than that. If you're a big fan of the Hostess chocolate cupcake, they didn't add the stuffing in the middle of it and the swirl on the top of it. They didn't add that until the 1950s. I always thought they were always part of that. Nothing beats a homemade chocolate cupcake. The Hostess Company, by the way, gets credit for producing the first mass-produced chocolate cupcake back in 1919. Ooh, that does look good. Who doesn't love a chocolate cupcake with a glass of milk? Scarf one down today. 29 minutes after the hour. And today in history, Moby Dick was first published on this date in London on October 18th, 1851. It was entitled The Whale. It got mediocre reviews, lukewarm reviews. When it was finally published in America, not long after, it was given lukewarm reviews, mediocre reviews. Poor Herman Melville, when he died, he had almost no money, and the book was out of print. You couldn't even buy it when Herman Melville died. Now it's considered by many to be the great novel, the great American novel. Moby Dick. You could go to your local store and buy a copy on this date in 1851, provided that you lived in England. Not a lot of people did. Happy birthday to the whale. We all have our own white whale. Pardon the metaphor. This is Alaska Day. It was they closed the deal in August of 1867, but we didn't formally take possession of Alaska from the Russians until October 18th, 1867, 156 years ago. That's the actual check, by the way. It was called by many people Seward's Folly. The Secretary of State at the time, William Seward, who'd been negotiating with the Russians for a long time, finally got the deal closed. The president at the time, Andrew Johnson, said, "We bought what?" He was heavily criticized. Why did we buy 600,000 square miles of nothing in the middle of nowhere? And William Seward said, "Well, it's 2 cents an acre. That's a pretty good deal. We'll take it." Of course, there were also those at that time in 1867 who thought this was a brilliant idea. $7.2 million for 600,000 acres of new land? Yeah, we'll take it. The native Russians living in Alaska at the time were given the choice. You could stay in Alaska, or you could go back to Russia. And about 80% of them went back to Russia. Probably wish they hadn't done that. We got Alaska on this date in 1867. And finally, on this date in 1977, Game 6 of the World Series, the 74th World Series, Yankees and Dodgers, Yankee Stadium, Reggie Jackson becomes Mr. October. And if you missed it, it went something like this.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. A big, big World Series for Reggie Jackson, despite all the palaver about his discontent with Billy Martin as he comes up with his 3rd home run of the series. Quickly, the Yankees go ahead. Hard shot, right field, it's gone. Oh, what a World Series for Reggie Jackson. First pitch, right in his wheelhouse, as Don Siva would say. Reggie Jackson now well on his way to becoming the most valuable player in the 1977 World Series if the Yankees go on to win. Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches in the strike zone tonight, 2, and he's hit them both in the seats. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, what a blow. What a way to top it off. Forget about who the most valuable player is in the World Series. How this man has responded to pressure. Oh, what a beam on his face. How can you blame him? He's answered the whole world. Reggie Jackson's last at-bat, probably in the 1977 series. What a colossal blow. And that was a monster in itself. 475 feet, probably. Look at that. Look at Torres. You don't think they know it? Feel it in there? What are they all thinking now? After all the furor, after all the hassling, it came down to this. A whole long season. Out comes Reggie.
Tuesday, October 18th, 1977. An evening I will not forget. And at 34 minutes after the hour, 3 heavenly birthdays. Charles Anderson Chuck Berry. He's on the Mount Rushmore of American rock and roll. Strictly speaking of Americans, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, Bob Dylan. They're on my Mount Rushmore of American rock and roll artists. He was as responsible as anybody for a cultural revolution, and the music lives on. Chuck Berry, born in the state in 1926. George C. Scott, Anatomy of a Murder, Dr. Strangelove. When he was filming Dr. Strangelove, Stanley Kubrick had him just go completely over the top, telling George C. Scott, "We're not using this. This is just to have some fun." and then I want you to play your character, Buck Torgensen, straight, and then he used the over-the-top stuff. And of course, the Academy Award for the title role of Patton, which he refused. In case you're curious, the actual Academy Award, they still gave him the Oscar, but he didn't want it, and it's on display at VMI, the Virginia Military Institute. George C. Scott, born in the state in 1927. Oh, let me tell you about Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson, of course, a Northwest legend. Graduated from Washington State College, ended up being the sports director at Como, called Husky football games on radio and television in the 1950s, and became the voice of college football for decades. The great Keith Jackson, born in the state in 1928. We miss him. And Martina Navratilova is 67 years old. She has 59 major titles, which is the most of any player, male or female, in the Open era. Pretty impressive, including 9 Wimbledon championships. That record, I don't think, will be broken. 35 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Mike McNally has got an opinion. And then Jennifer Talbot, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, dropped by. If you're into mediation training, they open up this window 2-3 times a year. It's a pretty good skill set. You might want to do it. And the deadline to sign up is coming up. Jennifer, we'll catch up with Jennifer when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
Stop by the Culinary Apple and elevate your cooking experience. With high-quality cookware, bakeware, and tools, you'll find just what you need. It's not too early to start thinking about the holidays. Pre-order your Apple gift packs and custom gift boxes now.
Located in the heart of downtown Chelan, Lake Chelan Sports is your best choice for outdoor apparel. Whether you're enjoying the lake or spending time with your family or simply relaxing, we have you covered. Welcome to Lake Chelan Sports.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Like Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, the area of town I live in is an older area and has narrow streets, okay? So when people are parked on both sides of the streets, if 2 cars are opposing each other, yeah, they can barely pass, but it's typical for somebody to pull over into, you know, an empty spot so the other person can pass by. Now, when someone does that for me, I always acknowledge them and wave. But when I do it, people don't acknowledge me and wave. No, what I'm saying is this. If someone shows you an act of kindness such as this, acknowledge it. How can we become a better, kinder society if acts of kindness are ignored? So, if you see me coming and I pull over to the side of the road to let you go by, just give me a little smile and wave, okay? That'll make me feel better about myself, and I won't feel so persecuted. All right, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today. Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM. Legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses. It's been way too long since Jennifer Talbot from the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center paid me a visit. That's my bad. But Jennifer reached out to me a couple of days ago, and one of the reasons we have been able to touch base with Jennifer, they've been really busy. And they're continuing to be busy as we enter into the autumn season. Jennifer Talbot from the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Listen to the audience, they love you. Hey, stranger.
Hi there.
Sorry about not being around much and not seeing you much. That's my bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So. No, we're glad to. I'm glad that you know, we're still here. We're still serving Chelan and Douglas counties, providing mediation services for folks that are struggling with conflicts, whether it's a family or a workplace, neighbor, or tenant-landlord.
It's unlimited different kinds of conflicts that they do. And you even got a new home. Last time I saw you hadn't moved yet.
We're downtown.
You like being downtown?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a good, nice central location for us. So, yeah.
Let's get caught up before we talk about what's going on October 25th, 26th, and 27th, and then again in November. It's time for you to do some mediation training if that might interest you. Let's get caught up. We haven't seen you in a while. First of all, you got big fat kudos. You were the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce Nonprofit of the Year, which is quite the feather in your cap.
That is a big deal, and we sure were surprised and honored and just really grateful for the recognition of the work that we're doing in the community and recognizing our staff and volunteers and all of their hard work. So,
who nominated you? Do you know? I mean, it's all like they're really good about keeping hush hush.
So it was a very great moment for us, and we're just so grateful to be able to be in this place.
And you beat some stiff competition, because this town is crawling with nonprofits.
There are so many good nonprofits, and we are super blessed to be able to partner and support each other. I think we're really blessed in this area for nonprofits that network and provide referrals for each other and support each other. So
you just wrapped up a highly successful conflict resolution symposium training. What was it called?
Oh, we had a de-escalation training.
De-escalation training. Yeah. What's the difference between de-escalation and mediation?
Well, it's all part. It's all. I mean, mediation training. You're going to learn de-escalation techniques, but this was really specific on helping folks that are so escalated that they're unable to provide some rational and reasonable thinking to be able to have a conversation. And so I think it's really the individuals who take that training tend to, that's their job. I mean, they do customer service, or they are working with folks that are in trauma or crisis. And so how do you really help people in that situation get to a place, a de-escalated place where you can be able to help them and help process through what their needs are.
You obviously wouldn't have done this de-escalation thing if there wasn't a need for it. Has there been an increased awareness, or is just more incidents of that kind of deal?
I think we're just getting more and more requests for that. They've been doing some de-escalation training on the west side of the state, and so we took that training and adapted it for our area, and we sold out. I mean, the training was booked. So we do have another training coming up in January, and we're also looking at coupling that with an active listening training.
Now, the de-escalation thing it falls into the professional mediation training. Professional mediation training is a little more intense and longer. Yes. De-escalation was somewhat shorter and more concentrated.
Yes, definitely. I would say, you know, one of the comments that we got after the de-escalation training was, oh my gosh, there's so much more to know. There's so much more to learn. And so we really recommend that folks take our full basic mediation training, which, you know, it is a time commitment. It's about 40 hours of training, but it's really comprehensive and in-depth on learning all of the things, conflict styles, dynamics, different ways that you can engage in conversation and help people out, as well as learning mediation skills, which are great. We need volunteer mediators, but it's also really good for you know, any setting. Workplace or home.
You've told me in the past, people who go through this professional mediation training, again, the next one's on the 26th, 27th, and 25th, 26th, and 27th of this month. You've told me in the past that the people who participate in it learn a lot about themselves as much as anything else.
They do, yeah, you do. You learn a lot about how you resolve conflict, and then that helps you to see how to help other people. Yeah, and we get comments all the time saying people wish they'd taken this years ago.
And now they can.
Yeah,
as a matter of
yeah,
fact.
take it now. Don't wait.
Before we get about the professional mediation training, which is pretty much for anybody, anybody who deals with people, because there's going to be conflict. You brought some other stuff that you want to talk about. Go ahead.
We actually were able to partner with the NCW Equity Alliance and the NCW libraries. And so we actually we're in the midst of an educational series called Curious Conversations. We have about 3 sessions left, and that is just it's a 1-hour little like taste of different communication skills, conflict resolution skills. The one last week was called Taming Our Triggers, so a little taste of de-escalation skills. And this has just been, it's free for folks in the community to come take these classes and learn, just learn, become more aware of the conflict resolution skills and all of the things that can help them in their day-to-day life.
Or just be aware.
Yes,
as we have
yes.
less and less one-on-one social
yes.
interaction.
Yes.
And more of this.
Yes.
That ain't cutting it.
Right.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah. And so what kind of precipitated this was Monica Guzman wrote a book called I Never Thought of It That Way, that deals with the issues of really divisive, you know, we have a really divided community a lot of times, and difficulty talking to each other when we're so, you know, stuck in a position. And so that author visit's happening on November 9th, and so we're doing this education series leading up to that.
How important is it for people to step out of their comfort zone every now and again? Because that's usually it. This is the rut, and I'm happy in it, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And it leads to, it's a rut is a rut.
Yeah, I think that people get stuck in a position, and it's really hard to. I think it's uncomfortable and awkward to maybe say, well, maybe I don't understand. I don't understand why somebody else is presenting in a different way or their perspective. And so that's kind of our goal, is what are some tools that you can use to maybe start those conversations?
Well, isn't the #1 tool to do this and do that?
Yes,
he says
listening.
as he zips his mouth and opens his ears. That's basically
listening. A lot of it's listening. And I think listening is definitely a skill that you need to know how to do active listening, and you need to practice it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you just
Right, exactly.
Do you need, for me, in my line of work, you can't be shy. You have to be an extrovert to a certain extent to even do this job decently. Is that a skill set that one needs necessarily? I mean, if you're a shy kind of person, Maybe just your basic personality is I don't want to say shy, but maybe standoffish or leery of almost everything until you prove yourself. Is that?
I think that everyone has their own personalities and their own conflict style, but I think everyone can benefit from learning active listening skills because it's just so important.
I know people who avoid conflict at all costs. They just run from it. That's not necessarily a good thing, is it?
Right. Yeah, one of the things we teach is that there are different conflict styles and that there's no one that's better than any other. There's a time and place to use different styles, and it's good for you to be aware of your own style and what you kind of prefer, and then try out some other styles. Because conflict is part of it's
unavoidable.
Yeah, that's life, and it's good. Conflict can be really healthy too. That's how we grow and develop. So how do we do that in a positive way?
Well, let's get people trained on mediation. Because you can never have enough. We talked about this before we went on the air. You can never have enough trained mediators.
Right, right. And we really do. We continue to encourage folks to take our mediation training, and then at the end of that, enter into what we call our practicum, where you continue learning those mediation skills. And then at the end of that, you can become a certified mediator with the DRC. Folks that are in that practicum and are certified mediators, they're volunteers, but they find that having the opportunity to practice and continue honing their skills benefits themselves, but it also really, it supports our community because we have mediators that are from our community that are helping folks get through their conflict.
If you're just entering into the job market, you got your degree and you're ready to go out and start a career, there are a couple of careers that jump out at me that should really do this. Law enforcement jumps out immediately. When you mentioned de-escalation, that's one of the tenets of their training is that probably attorneys and other those people who are going to be HR professionals in their career for companies that have an HR department because they're big enough. All of these people could use this training, right?
Yes, definitely. And we definitely encourage folks to take that. It is something that you can put that on your resume. You can put that in your your professional development bucket. But I think also we find we have a lot of folks that have retired and that that come in that take this training and then are able to provide that volunteer service in our community, and that's really enriching because. Folks that are retired have had this wealth of experience and can really see the application of these skills.
And I'm assuming, and if I'm wrong, let me know, and then we're going to give you the information. Also, those people who work with a lot of members of the general public on a regular basis, people who their jobs require them to interact with hundreds of different people, most of them total strangers, every day.
Right.
They could probably use this as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because you never know who's going to walk through the door.
Right, right. Well, we do have our trainings coming up in October. We will have a training in the spring, I believe March, and then the next training will be in June. So, look at your calendar and see if that would work.
The first of the professional mediation training is October 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's 40 hours over 3 days?
And then November 2nd and 3rd.
Okay, so, November 2nd and 3rd.
So 5 days.
So 5 days. And then after that 5 days, which is 8 hours a day of training, you're good to go. You got the necessary training.
Yes.
And for those of you who need to do this, because for continuing education credits, this counts towards that as well. Before we cut you loose, I know you're really busy. Give folks a general idea, if they haven't done this before, what can they expect over those 5 days in late October and early November? If they sign up, I'm in, Jennifer, what can I expect for my 40 hours?
Yes, you're going to get comprehensive in-depth training on, again, conflict dynamics, conflict styles, things about how to, active listening skills, but also things like, we call them barriers and barrier busting and reality testing. I mean, these are all different skills that you can use to help people when they're stuck in a position or a dispute, kind of unravel that. And then you'll learn the mediation process, which can be used in multiple different types of settings, and you'll have a chance to practice. That's really how you learn. So there's a lot of opportunity to, you know, with your classmates to practice these skills and try things out, see how it works.
One last question and we'll cut you loose. By the way, just go to the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution website. That's what I just Googled it and it popped right up. Yeah. As a professional, as a person who runs this, as the executive director, once you have a trained and certified mediator, how do you decide what conflict that this particular mediator would be good at resolving, be it a landlord-tenant, or a property dispute, or a marital, you know, separation?
Right.
How do you? Is it just a trick me? How do you know who would do what for what?
Well, you know, that's the beauty of the mediation process and interest-based negotiation, is that it really can fit for any type of dispute and situation. And so it's not necessarily, oh, this mediator would be good for this dispute. Mm-hmm. It's really, can they apply this process? Yes, you can apply this process to anything. And it's and you're able to help people work through it.
And if you'd like to pride yourself on being a peacemaker, this is your chance to find out if you're actually any good at it.
Yes.
What's for the October 25th, 26th, 27th, and again November 2nd and 3rd? That's your 5 days of the thing. What's the deadline to get folks signed up?
We, you know, as soon as possible. I'm thinking Monday is the deadline. Okay. So yeah, it's coming up pretty quick.
That's like real quick.
Yeah. So if you've been thinking about taking it, I know sometimes people say, oh, one of these years I'm going to take this training. You know, figure out how to free up your calendar for those 5 days and get registered.
People who, and I know a lot of people have gone through this and they have no regrets of doing this at all. They actually, they learned something about themselves and they think it makes them a more well-rounded person. Mm-hmm. And they were already pretty round to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you.
Yes.
Yes, always. Sorry to, you know, let's not be such strangers anymore.
Yeah,
all right?
I know.
Anytime you want to come by and see me.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Jennifer Talbot, everybody give her a big hand. We don't have a studio audience. Maybe we should get one. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time.
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
There we go. This thing has been wonky lately. Sunshine, 43 degrees here in the big city as the sun continues to climb. We're in for a pretty nice stretch of weather. This has not been a secret. We've been previewing this for quite some time. Sunny, warm, record-breaking high temperatures. Hang on to these days, folks, because come Monday and especially Tuesday, things are going to change big time. There's a significant system coming our way, expected to really arrive on Monday. I think we have that slide up and ready to go. Just to let you know, be forewarned, this beautiful, sunny, mild weather is not going to last. Even some mountain snow possible. And those areas that are prone to some cold air near the surface, you're going to have that well with some frost. In the meantime, here we go. Our record high temperature on this date, 72. Close to it, but not quite there. Tomorrow, our record high temperature, 75, and our forecast high, 75. Our record high temperature on Friday, 70. Forecast high, 74. I think we're going to get there and possibly even break it on Saturday, although we will cloud up a little bit for the weekend. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.